Can you please raise your right hand? You swear upon the testimony you're about to give to be the truth and the whole truth, so help you God.
I do.
Please lower your hand. State your true and correct legal name,
My name is Tessa Jillian Daniel.
and if you could please spell that out for the court reporter.
TESSAJILLYNDANIEL.
And Tessa, who are your parents?
Regina Lynn Banks is my mother, and Richard Franklin Clendenning is my father.
And your grandmother?
That's Peggy Ann Banks.
And do you have any children?
I do.
And your oldest child, what is her name?
Millie Air Place.
And what's Millie's birthday?
It is 10/4/11.
And your second child?
Layla Marie Daniel.
And what was Layla's birthday?
July 18th, 2013.
And your next child?
Carmelie Carter Clendenning.
And what's Carmelie's birthday?
September 11th, 2015.
And your next child?
Mercy Gray Daniel.
And what's her birthday?
October 23rd, 2016.
Do you have custody of your children?
No, ma'am.
Do you recall when you lost custody of them?
April 2015.
What was the reason why you lost custody?
I failed a drug screen.
Was there ever any allegations of physical abuse by you with these acts?
No, never.
And when you lost custody of your kids, do you know where they went or who they went to?
When defects officially got involved or when they left?
You know, I'm going to back up from there. When Millie was born, did she have any birthmarks or birth defects at all?
No, ma'am.
Any medical issues at all?
No, ma'am.
What about Layla when she was born?
She had a red mark on the back of her neck called a stort something, but they said it would go away. It went away after about 2 weeks.
And what part of her body was that on?
That was the back of her neck. It's just a little red strawberry looking thing.
And did she have any other birth defects or birth issues?
No, ma'am.
I'm going to show you what's being marked States Exhibit 82 and 83. Do you recognize those?
Yes, ma'am.
And what are they?
That's Layla. When she was born.
And that states 82
Yes, ma'am.
and states 83. Do you recognize that?
Yeah, I took that when she was a couple months old.
And is that a fair and accurate depiction of what you observed when you took those photographs?
Yes, ma'am.
I'd ask the states 82 and 83 be admitted into evidence.
Admitted 82 and 83.
And what's in states 82? What's in states 82?
That's Layla when she was born, like right after she was born.
Did Layla ever have any, light spots or discoloration on her skin when she was born?
No, ma'am, other than the stort thing on the back of her neck.
And states 83. What's that?
That was just a picture I took of her,
Of who?
of Layla.
How old was Layla at that time?
I think she was about 3 months, maybe.
And the same thing, did she have any discolorations or any marks on her body at that time? Any light patches or anything?
No.
What about in her stomach area at all?
No, ma'am. There's no filter on that picture either, like at all.
Was that before the time of filters? Maybe?
Not exactly, but I just didn't filter that one yet.
I'm dating myself. And I was asking you about, let me ask you, have you had any struggles with drugs?
Yes.
For how long?
For a long time, since I was probably about 16,
And have you sought treatment for that drug addiction?
a couple of times.
And are you still working on treatment for that addiction?
Yeah, I think I'll be working on that forever.
And when you're talking about, I guess, 2015, you said that DFACS got involved. Was there ever a time prior to 2015 where DFACS was involved in any way?
Well, Millie, I think it was on New Year's 2014. Millie got out of the house while I was upstairs with Layla and my mom, and Millie downstairs was her playroom. So I didn't think that she was going to go outside or anything. I figured she was going to her playroom, but I didn't notice she was, usually you'll hear Millie, like, in the next 2 minutes. But I didn't hear her, so I went downstairs to just check, and I saw the garage door was open. She wasn't there. And the next thing I knew, I was freaking out, looking in closets everywhere for her. But
How long did you look for Millie?
before I went outside and realized she was really out there, it probably took, I don't know, it was frantic, maybe a minute.
And at some point you went outside.
hmm
Were you able to find Millie when you went outside?
Well, my brother and sister took off in the car to go look down the street, and I was just standing there calling her name, and then a cop car pulled up, and Millie was leaning out of the front seat, and she was like, "Mommy," and I just broke out crying because that was awful.
What happened as a result of Millie getting outside? Did you ever have to
Yeah.
go down to the police station, or what happened?
No, they came to my house. DFACS did.
And what was the result of DFACS coming out to your house?
Well, they just gave us a safety plan in order for, like, putting locks on the doors, like the childproof locks. And they made sure to, just the basics, like just safety-proof our house.
Did they take her out of your custody at that point at all?
No. They checked the food and everything was okay. Like, everything was okay except for the fact that she'd gotten out. They left and they closed the case.
Prior to 2015, was there ever a case with DFACS involving Layla and the care of Layla?
Not specifically because of Layla.
Was there something prior to 2015 involving DFACS? Besides
Millie
what you
getting.
was talking about Millie getting out, was there any other incidents?
No.
And in 2013, you said Layla was born July 18th of 2013? And how long did she remain in your custody after she was born in 2013?
It was through her first birthday, because I remember having her first birthday. They took her, well, I got sick and went to the hospital. My mom kind of sent her to live with a family friend.
Do you know who that family friend was?
Cynthia Tate. She was a coworker as well.
She was a coworker of yours? Or
And my mom's.
Okay.
We all worked the same place.
And where were you working at that time?
Hateville Medical Center.
And how long had you known Cynthia Tate before she began to take care of Layla?
I didn't send Layla to live with her, but I knew her about, I'd been working there since about, I guess I want to say before I got pregnant with Layla, so, I don't remember exactly the
Okay,
date.
that's fine, but sometime before 2013.
Mm-hmm.
And you said at some point your mom took Layla to stay or have Miss Tate take care of her.
Yeah.
Do you recall when that was and how long Layla was with Miss Tate?
I guess unofficially, like when she was just living there, it was, it was a couple months.
Had you ever been in Miss Tate's home?
I'd been there before she lived there. I hadn't been there, but then afterwards, I went a couple times to some family functions and to visit with Layla and stuff.
And what about Millie? While Miss Tate was taking care of Layla, where was Millie?
Millie was either with me or my grandmother. My grandmother and her are really close.
And you said that you would go and visit Layla while she was with Miss Tate. About how many times do you think that happened during the time that she was staying with Miss Tate?
How many times did Millie visit Layla?
Did you go visit Layla?
Before defects came out?
Yes, ma'am.
I went there for a couple different holidays. So I was there for was it Thanksgiving? It's on my Google Photos. It's usually how I keep up my timeline. But
Was that when you said Thanksgiving? Is that Thanksgiving of 2014?
yes, ma'am.
Any other holidays you can think that you went to the Miss Tate's house?
Not specifically. I know I'd been there a couple times this year, though.
Did you ever go and take Layla and where she went and stayed with you overnight or for a long period of time while she was staying with Miss Tate? If you need to answer verbally.
I'm sorry. Can you repeat the question?
While Layla was staying with Miss Tate, were there times when you went and picked up Layla and kept her overnight for days or weeks during the time that she lived with Miss Tate?
No.
So when you was here, it would be at Miss Tate's home,
Yes.
and Millie was with you.
Sometimes, or with my grandma. Yeah.
At some point, did Millie go to live with somewhere else besides with you or with Miss Tate or with your grandma?
No, not until she actually went to Miss Tate's. But she was only there until her ex-husband. Am I going?
No.
Okay,
So Millie was living with your grandma, and at some point, did she go live with Miss Tate?
Well, we went over there and we met her ex-husband and his new wife.
Do you remember their names?
Scott and Christy Chapman.
The Chapmans.
Yes, ma'am.
So you said you went over. Where did you go over to?
To Miss Tate's.
You met the Chapmans.
I met the Chapmans.
And
Yeah.
what happened when you met the Chapmans at Miss Tate's house?
They were really good with Millie, and they just they seemed to be good people. Like, and I had stuff going on. Like, I had a probation warrant and stuff, and I knew that I was gonna have to leave Millie, and that she didn't have exactly a stable. Like, she was staying with me and my grandma, but she wasn't exactly. She still lived with me, so I had to get her settled. And I made it to where the Chapmans and my grandmother, had an open line of communication. I guess they knew each other. So before I left Millie and told them I had to go take care of the warrant, and
Did you ask the Chapmans to take care of Millie while you went to take care of your mom?
yes, ma'am.
And do you know how long, did they agree to take Millie?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you know how long Millie stayed with the Chapmans?
Not offhand, like, not exactly. It was a couple months while I had to go to jail and stuff.
And let me answer my next question. Did you ever visit Millie while she was staying with the Chapmans?
I never actually went to their house because it was really far.
And you said she was there for a couple of months.
Mm-hmm.
What happened after those couple of months of living with the Chapmans?
I think her father and my grandmother went and got her without asking or something.
And when they went and got her father, would that be Jacob Place?
Yes, ma'am.
When they got Millie, where did they take her?
I mean, I don't exactly remember where they took her. Probably my grandma probably kept her.
I was going to have a follow-up question To your knowledge, did Millie continue to stay with the Chapmans after your grandma and Jacob went?
No, not after they went and picked her up, to my knowledge.
After your grandma and Jacob went and picked up Millie, when's the next time that you saw Millie? Let me ask you this, did Millie ever come back to live with you?
No, but I went, she actually went back to, now it's kind of coming back a little, she went back to Cynthia's house, because I went there too.
And so at that time, who was living with Miss Cynthia Tate?
It was her daughter and her daughter's son,
If you
and
can tell me their names.
Tiffany and Lucas,
Okay.
and who they helped out with Layla a lot, helped Cynthia out with Layla. And then it was Cynthia, and they let me come there so I could help out with my girls and still be around them and them still be in a stable environment.
And how long did that living arrangement last?
Until DFACS came out, and that's when they drug tested me. It was in April.
And what happened after when you were drug tested?
They said if I wanted my girls to stay there, that I had to leave.
And did you leave?
Yes.
And was DFACS involved any further with you and the girls?
Yeah, that was kind of our beginning of our journey.
What happened after that incident?
Layla stayed with Miss Tate for a little longer, and Millie went with my grandmother.
How long did that last?
Not very long.
Where did you go?
Back with a boyfriend at the time.
How long did Millie stay with your grandma and Layla stay with the Tates after you tested positive for drugs?
Let's see, that was April, and probably about a month, maybe.
Did you see the girls during that time period, during that month?
No.
At some point, did that living situation for Layla and Millie change?
I don't know if I'm getting my dates mixed up, so I don't think I am, but the living arrangement, as far as Miss Chapman couldn't take care of Layla anymore. Is that where we're at?
Well, I think we're at when Millie was living with your grandma
And Layla was with Miss
Mr. Tate's, and you had
Miss Tate,
I
not Chapman.
think because you said a positive drug screen.
Right.
And you said that lasted for about a month.
Right.
So after that month, where did the girls go?
Then they went to a actual foster home where I didn't know, I didn't know where they were.
Do you know the names of who that foster parent was?
I do now because they found me. It was Browns.
And you said they found you. How did they find you?
On Facebook, they said that they said whenever DFACS dropped them off at their house that they didn't tell them any background information. They just kind of said, here's some foster kids. And so she said that Millie told her my name and told her everything that she needed to find me.
And when they reached out to you, was it, you said on Facebook, did they call you, did they message you, or was it in person?
I want to say that she messaged me the first time, and then I gave her my phone number, and then we started calling.
During the time that was Millie and Layla both with Miss Brown?
They were still living there when she first reached out to me.
And during the time that they were living with Miss Brown, did you ever see the girls? Did you ever have visitations with them?
No.
Would you talk with them on the phone?
No, I didn't even get to do that. But Miss Brown said that she would come get me and take me to church and stuff like that, but I couldn't see the girls because it was against the rules.
To your knowledge, how long did the girls stay with Miss Brown?
Not too long, maybe a month and a half, maybe, sort of. I guess I'm so not good with dates.
That's fine. At some point, did they leave Miss Brown's house?
Of course, yeah.
Where did they go?
To the Lamberts.
And did you know the Lamberts at all?
No, I never even talked to them while they lived with them. But my grandma did, I think.
So when they were living with the Lamberts, you didn't talk with them? Did you ever visit with them at all?
No. Yeah.
At some point, did they leave from the Lamberts?
Yeah, that's when my caseworker contacted me and told me that they had somebody that I knew that was interested in taking my girls in until I could complete my case plan. They wanted to help out.
And who was that person?
It was Jennifer.
And did you know Jennifer?
Jennifer. Yeah, well, she told me her name, so I went on Facebook and looked her up to see if I did know her because she said I should. And when I did that, I saw that it was Jennifer Holcomb, and I'd known her from living with her at a shelter.
And you tell me about your relationship with Jennifer. At that time, you knew her as Jennifer Holcomb.
Yes,
Is
ma'am.
that the same person that's here in court, Jennifer Rosenbaum?
Yes, ma'am.
And what was your relationship like with Jennifer Holcomb? And you said that y'all were in a shelter at that time?
Right. She was a lot older than me. We weren't really like friends, but I couldn't remember. I couldn't remember us being enemies exactly. But then I didn't reach down deep in my brain to try to figure it out. All I saw was like her image, like how good her and pictures looked, and looked like she would be able to take care of the girls. And you know, she was a pretty upstanding person. Seemed like if she wanted to help me and she remembered me, that it was, you know, like I didn't even try to think of no bad stuff. I was like, I just kind of accepted that.
And did you ever have contact with the defendant, Jennifer Rosenbaum?
Yeah, after I looked her up and stuff, I messaged her, and there was already a message from her that I guess it was a request maybe, or because we weren't friends yet. I didn't see it maybe, but after Samantha White told me about Jennifer, I looked her up on Facebook and messaged her back because I saw the message she sent me.
Were y'all friends on Facebook?
No, ma'am.
Did you have to accept a friend request from her or request her to be your friend?
I can't remember if I sent one or accepted one, but yeah, that had to take place before we could talk back and forth on Messenger.
And do you recall when that was, what the date was when that you received that message or messaged her back?
I want to say that she wrote me on either May 18th, maybe, and I wrote back on the 20th of 2015. Or was it 15?
Then I'm going to show you this being marked as 16, number 84. Do you recognize State's Exhibit 84?
Yes, ma'am.
And how are you able to recognize it?
It's from my messenger.
Have you had a chance to look at it and go through it? Has there been any changes made to it at all?
No, ma'am.
I'd ask that State's Exhibit 84 be admitted into evidence. Should be admitted for the record only.
Are you talking about continued witness rule issue?
No objection to tendering for the record.
All right, it's admitted.
Thank you. I may publish it.
And may be published.
And what is the date that that message was sent?
May 19th, 2015.
And what was the message that she sent you?
You want me to read it out loud? It says, hey girl, I know we haven't seen each other or talked in a while, but I wanted to let you know I'm praying for you. I met your girls last Wednesday at juvenile court. I work with the district attorney's office prosecuting juvenile offenders, and we used the same courtroom as defects cases. Your girls are beautiful and look so much like you. I think it was your mom who talked to me for a minute and said you were having a hard time. It just stuck with me over this past week, and so I wanted to reach out and let you know you are in my prayers.
And did you respond back to her?
Of course, especially after Samantha White told me that she was interested in the girls.
And I don't know if you can read that or not. Is that your response back?
Yes, ma'am. Let me read that.
Yes. What day did you respond back to her?
I responded back on the 20th of 2015.
And what was your response?
I said, thank you so much. God, I miss them so much. I can't believe I put my babies through all of this. When I knew what it felt like I knew what it felt like firsthand. I talked to Miss White, and she told me that you were interested in getting my girls until I can work my case plan. I think that would be amazing. It would make me feel so much more comfortable with the whole messed up situation. I'm fully ready to work towards getting them back, but if they have to be away from me for a while, I would much prefer them be with you. Thank you so much. You are literally the biggest blessing.
And that was your initial contact with Ms. Rosenbaum in regards to getting your girls.
Yes, ma'am.
And why did you feel like this was a blessing?
Because I just felt like they could pay more attention, like, to them. I felt like they had good stuff going on, like, as far as stuff, you know.
Had you had any contact with Ms. Rosenbaum? When was
No.
the last time, to your knowledge, that you had spoken to her or even seen her?
A long time ago. A long time.
How did you know what was going on with her to make you feel comfortable? with
I just
letting
looked at
her
all
take
her
care of
pictures of her and Joseph and their dogs and stuff, and I don't know, I just felt like they just looked like good people. And I felt like maybe if she knew me and reached out to me, that maybe I didn't have the best memory, but I figured that she couldn't mean nothing bad by that. Like, I feel like she had to have good intentions if she reached out to me.
Did you feel like your girls would be safe with the Rosenbaum?
Yeah.
Did you know Joseph Rosenbaum?
No, ma'am.
Had you ever met him before?
No, ma'am. I only knew her as Holcomb. I hadn't seen her since she'd been married.
After May the 20th, did you have any more contact with Ms. Rosenbaum?
Of course, a lot, because she started getting visitations with the girls, and she was the closest thing. And since they had been taken from me by defects, this was the first time that any of the actual people that had them would actually tell me things and update me. And she was a really uplifting person with her words, you know,
And the contact that you had with Ms. Rosenbaum, what was your main source of contact with her?
It was Facebook Messenger.
And how often would you Facebook Messenger with Ms. Rosenbaum?
Well, she's a talker, so a lot. We have a lot of messages together.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit number.
Yes.
Do you recognize State's number 85?
Yes, ma'am.
How are you able to recognize State's 85?
These are messages between me and Jennifer.
And are those the messages between the time frame of 2015?
14, 15, yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Have there been any changes, deletions, or additions made to them?
No, ma'am, not.
And you've had a chance to go through them and go through them?
I have.
I'd ask the State's Exhibit number 85 be admitted into evidence.
Submit.
over the course of the time that you were messaging with Ms. Rosenbaum, did you ever message with Joseph Rosenbaum at all?
No, I didn't talk to him hardly ever.
What types of messages would you receive from Ms. Rosenbaum through Facebook?
Well, mainly just I found it. I'm a really trusting person, so I automatically just assume that everybody at first wants the best for me, and they are really meaning what they're saying. So at this point, I was pretty brand new with her, and I trusted her. So I talked to her about stuff I was going through, and she was just really uplifting with things she said back to me.
Would you receive, besides messages, did you receive anything else from Ms. Rosenbaum through the Facebook message?
Yeah, she sent me pictures and stuff of all the stuff she did for Layla's birthday. And then, she sent me other pictures too, but where she would tell me what am I?
No. When she would tell you things about the girls?
Yeah, or why I didn't see them. She'd say either Layla was sick, Layla was always sick.
I'm going to ask you about a conversation that occurred on August the 12th of 2015. In fact, when you were talking to Ms. Rosenbaum about the girls, was she giving updates on what they were doing, how they were feeling?
Yeah. She tried to update me on that, I guess a lot, as far as, I don't know what she'd say, but, she would say things that would say it was like an update, I guess, on them. Mainly, we really just talked about how I was coming along in the case to get them back, but if it, DFACS made me schedule my visitations and stuff through her, so I'd always try to ask her about that, but it'd never be a good time.
I'm going to direct your attention to a specific conversation on August the 12th.
Excuse me, but where is that coming from? Where is that coming from? If it's your phone, please raise your hand.
It was mine. I don't know what happened to her. It's cut off. The volume's down.
All right, well, this is a warning to you that if it should go off again, then you'll be asked to leave the courtroom, and you'll not be permitted to bring the phone back in here. Do you understand?
Sure.
Let's continue.
I'm going to direct your attention to page 64, states exhibit number 85. And when you're reading these messages from the report, do they read from the top up or from the bottom, from the top down or the bottom up, as far as the sequence of how they're coming in?
They're reading from the bottom up.
So we're going to start at the bottom. Is this a message that you received from Ms. Rosenbaum?
Yes, ma'am.
And what date was that?
August 12th, 2015,
And at what time?
at 2:05 p.m.
And what was her message to you?
Just a heads up, I'm on my way home early. The daycare called and Layla has a fever and is throwing up.
And what was the next message that came?
At 2:06 p.m. same day, it says, I'm about to take her to Children's Health Care to get her checked out, but the daycare thinks she's caught the bug going around in her class. I'm going to keep her and Millie separated so Millie doesn't get it.
And the next message?
A minute later, she said, but depending on what the doctor says and after I talk to Ms. White, it may be a visit with just Millie.
Were you scheduled to have a visit with the girls on that day?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you, to your knowledge, did you know before that day that the girls were in daycare?
No, not that I'm aware of.
Did she ever mention daycare or where they were attending daycare to you?
No, I don't think so.
The next message. And then who's that from?
That one is from me. Yeah. On August 12th, 2015 at 2:16, I wrote her back. And I said, that's fine. One-on-one will help a lot, but my poor baby, please let me know after the doctor if she's okay. God, it's times like this I wish I could be there for her. And hopefully the week after that she'll be better and I can have a one-on-one with her.
And the response to that message?
It might have been accidental. It just says I. And the one after that.
Yes.
It's I definitely will keep you posted. And then she said, and I'm sure Millie will enjoy the undivided attention.
And I'm showing you the next page states that '85's page number 65. Is that the continuation of this conversation?
Yes, ma'am.
And if you could start from the bottom, who's this message from?
This one is from me. I said I lost her card too. And well, is this the continuation? I lost her card too. LOL. I knew I should have saved it in my phone. And then Jennifer responded and said I had it in my car cup holder, but I can't remember if I took it out and brought it to my office or what. Joseph could have put it somewhere when he cleaned the car when we got back from vacation. I just figured she would call and let me know about everything, so I didn't think I needed her number.
Thank you. On that, the 12th, did you have any more conversation with her about Layla and her being ill?
And on the 12th on Facebook, I'm not sure. I don't think so, though. I'm pretty sure that was the end of it until...
And this is page 63, I apologize.
This is the kid.
Is this a continuation of that conversation about Layla?
Yeah, I can't see the bottom one. This is the one. Oh yes, this is it.
And how does the message start?
It starts off. This is the middle of the other conversation where she was telling me about Layla getting sick at daycare, and she said this is one of the evils of daycares. If one of the kids gets something, it seems to pass around. And then she said, Millie just asked my husband, I've been meaning to ask you, are there only boys at your work? Oh, she asked.
So she responded to you about telling you something Millie had done that day?
Mm-hmm. And then she said, like, out of nowhere, LOL. And I responded and said, haha, she is silly. She's going to be the president of the United States. My little inquisitive 3-year-old teenager, LOL. And Jennifer said, I almost spit out my water. Like, where did that come from?
Now, what is this little icon at the top of the page here right there?
That's a picture.
And so did you receive a picture that day as well, besides just messaging?
Yes. It was...
I'm going to show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit number 86.
Pretty sure, yeah. It
Do
was...
you recognize that?
Yes, ma'am.
And is it a fair and accurate depiction of what you received that day?
Yes, ma'am.
I'd ask that State's Exhibit 86 be admitted.
Anytime you
And does State's 86 include all the pictures that were sent to you, including some of the text that we're going over?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, show you what it is. And page 62, is this the picture that,
She sent me in between the water conversation about.
so that where we saw that icon box just a minute ago in the middle of the conversation, is this the picture that came through?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you continue to have conversation with her?
Yes, ma'am.
And if you could start from the bottom.
Says the lighting is weird, so you can't see it too well, but her little cheeks are red from her fever. Pitiful thing, she doesn't feel well at all. And then she said, I don't know why the lighting is dark at the bottom. It also may be the filter. LOL.
And then is that icon indicating that another picture was sent?
Yes, ma'am. That's the redo picture.
And I'm showing you States Exhibit 86, the second page of that.
Yeah.
Is that the second picture that came through from that day?
Yes, ma'am.
And did conversation continue?
Yes, ma'am.
What was the next part of that conversation?
She said, at the doctor's office now, this is us here, LOL. I resent the photo since the first one had a bad filter that made it look like her arm had something on it, LOL. And there's another picture. Yeah, that.
Third page of States Exhibit 86, was that third picture?
Yes, ma'am.
And these conversations are on August the 12th, or all continue from August the 12th?
Yes, ma'am. Continue reading it.
Yes, ma'am.
It says before we left out. I'm guessing that's what the description of the picture was. And then I think that's what I said up there. Yeah. Oh God, I love her. She looks so pitiful, but beautifully pitiful. I wish I could be with her.
And is this still page 61, the continuation of the same conversation?
Yes, ma'am.
And if you could start from the bottom.
It says if Jennifer said back to that, if she gets to feeling better and up to it, you can call tomorrow and talk with her if she can't make the visit. And then she said, I know how much you wish you could be comforting her. And she said, they're treating us pretty well though. We got back without waiting too long. And then they have her anti-nausea meds they have her anti-nausea meds a few minutes ago. Or I think I meant to say gave. So it's a stomach virus.
And that is the message coming from Jennifer, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, if you can continue.
And then in upper respiratory infection, that is just coming on. They said, luckily, they caught it this early with antibiotics. She will only be contagious for 48 hours. By the antibiotics will kick in, and she will have few symptoms from the infection.
And page 60, States Exhibit 85.
Then it continues with get plenty of rest, lots of fluids, PB ashore. They're doing an IV to get meds in her faster, so we will be here for a little while, so they can monitor and get the meds started. I said, what I
Did you
said?
respond?
Yes, ma'am. I said, oh my goodness, my poor baby, and Ivy, how did she handle that? Oh my God, I am supposed to be there for stuff like that. I can't believe everything. I can't deal with not being able to be their mommy. I'm so upset with myself. They need me and I'm not there. This is the worst feeling I've ever felt my whole life. And she responded to that and said she did fine with it. It was just to get fluids in her and start the meds. She didn't even flinch or cry. She just said, ouch. And is that me that put her back right there? That's her. Okay, I see. She does that with her immunization shots too.
Page 59, the state's exhibit number.
She continued, but she is a trooper. I was more freaked out about it than she was, LOL. And I replied and said, wow, she is a trooper. Even I want to cry when I hear I have to get an IV. That makes me feel better a little, I guess. I still feel like a failure, though. Why does it feel like it's going to be so hard to do everything I need to do to get them back? I'm trying to stay faithful, but I'm freaking out on the inside. And she replied to that and said, it can be overwhelming, I'm sure, but you're doing it one step at a time. It seems minuscule, but you are making big steps and should be proud. You will get there. It just takes time. And then she said, Millie practicing her flips. We put her in gymnastics, so she's super into flipping and stuff.
And what time did that message come through?
The last one.
The last one.
It was 6:40 on August 12th, 6:47 p.m.
Prior to that, did you know anything about Millie being in gymnastics at all?
I don't think so.
And did you ever get any information about Layla being in gymnastics?
No, ma'am.
And did you continue to have conversation with Ms. Rosenbaum through Facebook?
Yes, ma'am.
And was the conversation continuing about the girls and how they were doing?
This conversation or the other?
Just your conversations
in
in
the
general
future.
with Ms. Rosenbaum.
Yeah, I asked about the girls and how they were doing a lot, and she would tell me. And she usually tried to send pictures, but they were.
And I'm going to show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 87 and 88. Oh, sorry. I thought I handed off my whole stack to you earlier. Did you ever receive photographs of Millie in gymnastics?
Yeah, a couple of them
And who did you receive those photographs from?
Jennifer.
Did you ever receive any photographs of Layla in gymnastics?
No, ma'am.
Do you recall when you received the photographs of Millie?
I think that was closer to. Was it the end of August or November?
State's Exhibit 87
September.
and 88. Do you recognize those?
I do.
And are they a fair and accurate depiction of the photographs that you received of Millie?
Yes, ma'am.
I'd ask that State's Exhibit 88 and 87 be admitted.
Any objection? 87, 88, or anything? Any opposed?
I'm showing you State's Exhibit number 87. Stop here. When did you receive this?
September 16th, 2015.
And what is it?
It's Millie in her little tutu.
And what's the message above it?
The whole thing or just the part? It said it doesn't matter what people can give someone so long as you have your love for them. By the way, Millie is doing great in gymnastics. She loves it.
And States Exhibit 88. When did you receive that?
On September 21st.
And what is it?
Millie,
And where does it look like Millie's at?
at gymnastics. I would assume.
During the time that the girls were with the Rosenbaums, did you ever have any visits with the girls?
I did. I had one. I don't know if they were actually living there yet or visiting there, but it was. No, they were living there because it was like July 31st. I think was the last time I visited with the girls.
And where was that visit at?
It was at the defects office. It was supervised.
Was either one of the Rosenbaums present for that visit?
I saw Jennifer when she dropped him off, and then I saw her when she picked him up.
Did you have any conversation with her on that day?
If I did, it wasn't like it wasn't memorable, I guess. I mean, it was probably just like a hi, how are you doing type thing.
And how long did your visitations last with the girls on the 31st? of
I
July?
think they let us have an hour that day. I want to say
Okay.
that's the normal visit.
Did you have any visits after that?
Oh man.
Were there other scheduled visits that you were supposed to have?
Oh yeah.
Okay. And what happened that you were not able to visit the girls?
It was always up to Jennifer.
And what would they?
They would be going on vacation, or they would Layla was usually sick. That happened a good bit. Or just I think one time she might have gotten in trouble or something, and I can't exactly remember. She did something wrong at daycare or something. She couldn't come. That might have been. I don't know if I remember that correctly, but I'm pretty sure that was an issue one of the times. I think there was. I have a lot of.
Speculating. Let me just ask you.
Stand.
Between the time, I guess, in May or June, when the girls went to stay with the Rosenbaums, and November the 17th.
How many scheduled visits?
Yes.
Well, they weren't exactly. They never got to the scheduling point. They got to her trying to work out a date, but eventually we had. I know for sure we had that one that was scheduled for November 16th.
Okay. And we're going to talk about that in a minute. Was there ever a time that you got information regarding Layla from Jennifer in October that you received?
Yeah, when she broke her leg.
And I'm going to show you page 13 of State's Exhibit number 85. And is this the message you're referring to? What's the date that you received that message?
It says October 19th. Well, the bottom one, I assume, is October 19th.
And what time was that?
It was the very bottom.
At the time. The date of birth, I'm sorry.
Okay, October 19th, 2015 at 8:55 p.m.
And what's the message?
Hey girl, wanted to let you know Layla fell off the bars at gymnastics today and fractured her tibia, the bone in the lower part of her leg. She has a soft cast for now, but we'll have to get a hard cast in the next few days and no gymnastics for a while.
And before the message before that.
She was a trooper though. Doctor was so surprised because she thought it couldn't have been anything other than a twist or a sprain. Because Layla never cried. Not once.
And does the conversation continue about that situation?
Yes, ma'am. And she said that she laughed and joked and played the whole time we were there. And then and didn't even say anything hurt.
did you respond back?
Yes, ma'am. I responded back on October 20th. I guess I finally got the message, and it was at 12:07 a.m.
And what was your response?
I said, "Oh my goodness, my baby. Thank you for telling me. She is so tough. I'm a terrible mother for not being there for them. I should have had them back. I hope it's not too late to fix me and my girl's relationship. I want to be a mommy. I've just been so scared. I got high. So I got high to forget my mistakes and responsibilities, but I honestly am ready to do what I need to do, and I feel God now more than I ever have in my life. I'm ready to be stronger. I realize I don't need anyone but myself to fix what I've broken."
Okay, let me know when you have a good stopping point.
Prior to getting this message on October the 19th, had you been messaging with Jennifer throughout that time?
Prior to this one?
Prior to October the 19th, like a couple of days before that, had y'all been sending messages back and forth?
Yeah.
And I'm going to show you pages 15, 16, 17, and 18. And if you can flip through, so were there messages going back and forth between you guys between October the 15th and October the 19th?
Yes, ma'am.
Was there ever any mention of Layla having an issue with her leg?
No, not in the.
I interrupted you, I'm sorry.
This was before?
Yes.
No.
So a couple of days before your messaging with Ms. Rosenbaum,
Yes, ma'am.
and does she make any mention about an issue with Layla's leg?
No, ma'am.
Did she mention anything about Layla and the girls going to visit with your grandma?
No. I mean, no.
During those couple of days before you get the message about Layla breaking her leg?
No, ma'am. I don't.
If you can look through that, too.
I don't think she mentioned anything about a visitation with. No. I was just confused because I remember at one time we talked about it, one of the visits with my grandma, but
After she sent you that message, did you talk to her any more about Layla breaking her leg?
no, ma'am.
Did she ever see any photographs after Layla broke her leg?
Yes, ma'am. A couple.
And I'm showing you what's marked as State's Exhibit 89 previously shown to Defense Counsel. Do you recognize State's Exhibit 89?
Yes, ma'am.
And does it fairly and accurately depict what you received from Ms. Rosenbaum?
Yes, ma'am.
I'd ask the State's Exhibit number 89 be admitted into evidence.
And then, State's 89. You may call.
And when did you receive this photograph?
October 23rd, 2015.
And what is depicted in the State's Exhibit?
It's Millie in her cast.
You said
I'm sorry, Layla in her cast, and with the arm brace.
Judge, this would be a good stop.
All right, thank you. We're going to take a 15-minute break at this time. I'm going to ask that you, well, I'm not going to confine you to this area. During this 15 minutes, you're welcome to go wherever you'd like.